Even I'm sick of talking about them. Let's play a Week 6 edition of Awesome, Awful, and Awkward. Neek, what was something awesome you saw this week?
Oh, Jaden Daniels is
yes.
one of the best quarterbacks in football. If they don't have hope in Washington, they have something much better than hope. They have a quarterback for a long time to come, and even in a loss, this is one of the more sophisticated defenses that he was going to face. He didn't turn the ball over. He made good decisions. And this team, once they get built up around him, they'll be a serious threat to win a Super Bowl.
I agree.
In his rookie season.
He is.
In his rookie contract.
Every bit of awesome. Jeff, what was awful?
Ooh, Mike McCarthy getting no respect at home on his owner's 82nd birthday, and just Ben Johnson dispensing to the big men. How much fun was this? This was my favorite.
So disrespectful.
So disrespectful. He lateral to put. That should have been a touchdown. That was a trash call. Trash call. And he flea flickered to Florida.
Can you imagine how little respect you have for an opponent to practice 3 and 4 lineman plays all week? It's like, we don't respect you at all. We're just going to do whatever we want.
Love you.
Graz, what was the awkward moment?
Well, Nick Sirianni here yelling at the fans after, admittedly a tough loss. Oh, wait, he won? And this is how he was acting? That's awkward. Why are we yelling at the fans, man? Just take your win and go act like a professional. What are you doing?
Yes, he was yelling at them because he finds it unproductive when the fans boo. This, of course, is a very productive thing for a coach to be doing, is going over there and engaging with them. Well, anyway, afterwards or yesterday, he went out and apologized yesterday. Here's what he said.
I was trying to bring energy yesterday, enthusiasm yesterday. And I'm sorry and disappointed on how my energy was directed at the end of the game. My energy should be all in on coaching, motivating, right, and celebrating with our guys. And I got to have better wisdom and discernment of when to use that energy.
Yeah, he's on solid ground there.
Hold on. I'm gonna defend him a little bit.
Please.
What else is his job? We have.
That's the defense?
Hold on
Fans?
a second. Let me finish.
Okay.
Roseman brings in the defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator.
Right.
They basically have all he can do is get people excited. And so the players around him seem to enjoy him going back and forth. I mean, I'm grasping at straws. But I like it. I mean, hey, look,
They told him
a little bit.
They told him, don't talk to the quarterback. Leave the quarterback alone. Yeah, I get it. What is painful about the apology, and generally, if you were wrong, I think people should apologize. But for Nick Sirianni, it feels like we're watching him slowly bleed credibility week after week after week. And it's a painful thing to watch, and having him look like not even fully contrite, but look like someone chastised him in the back room and he went out there and repeated. You could tell that whoever talked to him said the word energy a lot.
Yeah.
They told him, direct your energy in the right place. And it just was uncomfortable to see him. It just feels like they're losing faith
Would that
in
person
him.
be Lori, who brings him in the office and here's your apology? Say it like that. Say it just like this.
Probably.
The answer to the question of what his job is he's the public face of the organization.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody talks to the media or stands out in front and represents the organization more often during the season than the head coach does. And what he projects is on behalf of the organization. So if he's yelling at fans and he's snapping back at questions in a press conference with his kids all around, I mean, like, you're not acting like a professional. You're not even really acting like a grown-up, and I think that is his job, is to be the grown-up in the room, and right now it's just not going great.
Say, Jeff, I think perhaps the best way we can sum up the problem is that your defense of him was to say, well, what else should he be doing? He doesn't have anything better or more important or productive to do than chirping at fans.
Yeah.
Than a bunch of people who've been sitting there drinking since 8 o'clock in the morning who are giving him a hard time about the game that they just won.
You're just mad at the Jets. You're redirecting anger at the wrong person.
No, but the one thing, here's what I will say about that, all kidding aside, is that you're an expert in football. You played it, and you know more about it than I'll ever know. You're an expert in football. I'm an expert in being a fan. Yeah. That's the only thing I really know. And I'm telling you what, the one thing you can't do, the fans are the people you work for.
Yes.
And Nick Sirianni and many others don't seem to get that. And I forget who said it yesterday. I think it was Dan Orlovsky who said, Nick Sirianni, everything that he emits is I'm better than you.
Right.
And that is the reason the fans can't stand him. The reason that he will not win them back. Look, that town, they'll love you if you're tough.
Yeah.
Buddy Ryan, do you know how many playoff games Buddy Ryan won as the coach of the Eagles? The answer is 0.
Wow.
And he remains beloved in that city because he had attitude and he was a fighter and all this, and he wasn't fighting with the wrong people. Don't pick fights with your own fans. That is the absolute last thing any coach should ever do.
He has fought with his offensive coordinator.
That was bad too. That was bad too.
Buddy Ryan.
So anyway, the name you want to hear. Oh,
he has nothing to hang his hat on, and I think that the yelling at the fans and all the other foolish antics would be kind of hand waved away if we thought of him as an excellent motivator. It's hard to imagine Dan Campbell doing something like this, but if Dan Campbell does that, we're like, hey, but Dan Campbell does this. And the same thing for like Kyle Shanahan or Stefanski. If you have something that we say is super valuable and you're super good at, then you can do weird stuff. But the thing is, the thing that we associate with him now is the weird stuff. Because he doesn't have good stuff, so it's like him yelling, him talking trash in the middle of the Super Bowl, and the quarterback kind of telling him to relax.
Right.
Him yelling at fans as he goes through the tunnel. Him yelling at his own fans. Those are the things that stand out in our mind. It's not him making some great coaching decision and then acting like a jerk to your fans.
The reason that we never have talked about any of those other people doing that is because they would never do it in the first place. The one voice you want to hear from on this, though, of course, belongs to Jason Kelce, who now, of course, belongs to us at ESPN. So on Monday Countdown last night, here's what he had to say about the way his old coach handled the situation.
Obviously, he knows that that was not the right way to handle that situation. You just saw it there, and everybody knows that that was inappropriate. But this is a guy that knows that his energy is going to feed the football team. That energy, even though it comes out in the wrong way sometimes, like it did at the end of that game, if that is going to get the best out of him, is that emotional energy that he can then infuse into other people, I'm all for it. Not doing that at the end of games and talking to the fans, but taking it out on the field, doing it with your players.
I'm the only one who thinks, and I'm not even saying this kiddingly, and I love that Jason Kelce works for us, that they would be way better off if he was their coach. Like teams have brought in, you went back and just coached without all the experience and all that kind of stuff. I think he has 1,000 times more credibility inside and outside the locker room. If other people are doing all of the, if someone else is handling the offense and someone else is handling the defense, and you're telling me the only job he has is motivating the team and having his finger on the pulse of everything, am I the only person who thinks Jason Kelce would do that way better than it's being done right now?
Well, he would be doing it better. It's the staff that's going to be the issue. From what he's saying about Sirianni, you can tell that's his guy, right? And so he's coming to bat for him. At the end of the day, Sirianni's doing more harm for himself than he's helping. Like this is just going to get ugly at the end.
Yeah, if motivating is the job, I think the way that Nick Sirianni has been doing it, the problem is you have to have some level of credibility to go along with it.
Yeah.
You can be the best motivational speaker, you can be a tremendous orator and writer, but if you don't have the credibility to go along with it, and that's what it feels like Sirianni is losing. I'm not in that locker room, but it doesn't feel like anyone looks at him as an expert or looks at him and trusts that he's been able to do something or he can bring something. So then all the rah-rah sounds different when it comes from somebody deep on the bench than when it comes from a Hall of Famer. And he doesn't give off the energy that I think secures the credibility to make his rah-rah work.